All right. Hello, everyone. Kyle, AA0Z. Welcome to the stream. And tonight, we have got a special treat. If you run a Flex and you run a CW key, and especially if you run remote, um, I have Max N5NHJ. He is the programmer and the owner of WKFlex, which I am very excited about because I do not have a good remote keyer. I came across WKFlex a while ago and didn't install it, but then I started to dig deeper into it a couple, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and I saw all the features and how easy it was to make a remote keyer for your Flex. So, welcome to the stream, Max. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine, Kyle, and my pleasure to be here with you tonight and show the features and what can be done with WK Flex and a Flex Radio, of course, remotely.
Yeah. So we were just rapping about all of the DXpeditions that Max has been on. I was not aware of his accolades. So, Max, when did you get your ticket? And tell us a little bit about your ham radio history here.
Well, uh, I'm used to say that the best QSL card I got is something that unfortunately I do not own anymore, but is a card that my grandfather shared with Guglielmo Marconi. He was a kind of yeah. So something is running in my blood, right? So my grandpa was making experiments with Guglielmo Marconi, and I got some devices, some equipment at home when I was young in Italy.
Yeah.
And actually, I didn't realize the value of those things. But my father told me that they had a kind of a letter from Marconi, which was never found anymore. So I'm used to say that my radio ham story started before I was born.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, it is. So, well,
Wow. Wow, that is a story.
so first licensed in 75, I guess, and I missed the CW session. So I didn't pass the CW session. That's
Yeah.
another good story. But then my very first radio was an 19 MK4, a very old English World War II radio,
Yeah.
running 80 meters and 40 meters, only CW, with a very so I was forced to learn CW,
Right.
and here we go. That is the beginning of my CW career.
Gotcha. So, and then you have been on many, many DXpeditions, right? What is the most? How many DXpeditions have you been on? And what is the most memorial one that you've been on?
Well, I've been on probably 20 the expedition, starting with the very first one was activating Liberia solo as a
Wow.
guest operator in Monrovia, Echo Lima to Papa Papa. Someone remembers her probably,
Yeah.
and so I asked her to go there for the CQWW CW contest in I guess 1993 probably,
Okay.
and that was a great experience, scaring somehow because there was the civil war at that time there in Monrovia, so kind of scaring.
Yeah.
But in a solo effort, 100 baht, I achieved the second place worldwide. So
Wow.
it was fun. And that was my very first. And then after that, I've been in Mongolia, JT1Y, um, uh, uh, um, Kinman, sorry, Knifer of Malta, 180 km, and then Kimarif in 2000,
Yep.
and then San Felix, X-ray Radio Zero X-ray. Most of those countries are now top 10.
Yeah.
and then East Kiribati and Scarborough Reef, of course. The
Yeah.
last expedition to Scarborough Reef, I was there.
Yeah. So
Midway Island and so many others.
we were talking about Scarborough Reef. If you haven't seen the pictures of Scarborough Reef, just type in Google Scarborough Reef DXpedition. They will blow your mind on what had to happen in order to activate that reef. It's amazing.
That was great. Yes, it was an unbelievable experience before, during, and after it. Before, because of those political issues,
Yeah.
until the last minute, we never know if we were making it or not. I was sitting with Marty Lane on the boat, ready to fly back home. And then the next day, we got approved, and we started our journey. That was in Hong Kong. We started our journey to Scarborough Reef,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
spending nights over those very little rocks with thunderstorm approaching, with the boat in the bay. At the night, you cannot call the boat and ask for someone to escape the rock. So it was a little
Yeah.
scary as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. The
we did,
picture.
and I hope that everyone was happy with the expedition, of course.
Yeah. The pictures probably don't do it justice. I mean, it was the pictures that I saw were just unbelievable. So, all right, I could
Let's
talk
go
all
back
day
to
about
the WKFlex,
Yeah, I can
which is
talk
the
all day
focus
about.
for tonight.
Yeah. So WKFlex. It is a. Let me bring up the PDF. So the link is in the description below on the PDF, and then there's links within the PDF to download it. So let me share my screen here, and let me. So I need to share. You guys are going to see how the sausage is made here. So whenever you go to the link below, this PDF is going to pop up, and looks like we're on version, or you're on version 2.1, but looks like you had obviously you released 1.0. You want to just give an overview and kind of all of the upgrades that you've done so far?
Yeah, well, let's start talking about why I wrote this software.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
what is the scope of this? So, if you run a Flex radio, and if you run a remote Flex radio, because if you run the radio locally, you don't need any software to run CW. But
Right.
if you run the station remotely, one issue with the Flex radio is that you don't get any side tone back. So it doesn't matter if you use any logging software and 1mm, or even if you use the CWX to send out memories, CW from the memories,
Yep.
you don't get any feedback.
Yeah.
And that's not sometimes that can be a little bit messy, because you really don't realize how fast are you sending. And let's say you are using N1mm during a contest, someone is running a very high speed pileup, you want to match as much as possible that speed, or exactly the opposite, someone is going very slow and you don't want to send a machine gun string of
Yeah.
of CW characters, and the poor guy will not get it. So you need to get a feedback about the speed, and
Yes.
that can be done only through a cycle. The
Yes.
other point is you cannot use a paddle remotely. So those are the two main reasons why I decided to write this software.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
eventually create a local sided tone running the paddle, and interface with logging software to create a local sided tone without just using the standard features of Smart SDR.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Hearing your as a newer CW operator, hearing your side tone is very important, right? To make sure that you know what you're sending, and it is the key to running CW, so you can hear what you're sending, right?
Yeah, and there is also another big issue. Theoretically, you can generate the side tone remotely, and with some tricks, you can you can hear the side tone generated remotely, but that introduces a lot of latency. And in my experience, I never met any CW operator who can accept more than very few milliseconds of latency. So
Yes.
your brain goes out of synchronization with your hand, and so latency is a huge problem. That's why that's the reason why you want to generate a side tone locally while you are transmitting, and without waiting for some audio coming back from the remote side.
Yeah. Right. And so your program has hooks into Smart SDR that allow you to send the CW over the network, hear your side tone locally, but it works with all versions of Smart SDR, correct?
All version of Smart SDR, yes. To generate your side tone locally, you need a WinKeyer.
Yes, you need
any WinKeyer, any compatible WinKeyer, the K3NG Arduino WinKeyer, the MicroHam, every WinKeyer, real WinKeyer, or any simulator works with WKFlex.
So you don't have to get the W1 or the K1 EL WinKeyer. You can get something else that emulates a WinKeyer, correct?
That's true, even if the K1EL WinKeyer, the AF version, is probably the best fit for WKFlex and for running everything CW remotely.
Is that the bigger one? Is that I didn't?
No, it's just like that one.
Okay.
Yes, it's like that one, but has audio oscillator locally with audio output that you can use to inject the signal directly in your computer. So you can mix the audio from the radio, from the WinKeyer, and you have a really good experience with that.
Yeah. Okay. So which one was that again, Max?
Is the WK-USB-AF.
WK. Oh my gosh, my keyboard is
USB.
WK.
WK-USB-AF.
So let's take a look at this
That
one.
one, yes.
Ah, okay.
So, see, audio out. Probably there is a picture of the back of the unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, here you go. So you have a jack output there, and you can just use that and inject the audio signal into the audio card of the computer, and then with a virtual mixer you can mix all the signals, and then you can use headphones, loudspeakers, everything.
Gotcha.
So this unit is definitely the best fit.
Gotcha. Okay. Very good. I might have to pick one of those up then. All right. So, we talked about the reason why WKFlex exists. So, on the PDF here, you've got instructions on how to install it and download it and how to configure it. Do you want to give just an overview of some features, or I've got it. I don't have it installed yet. I was going to wait till we got on stream here to actually install it. So I'm kind of at your mercy here on what you want to do or how do you want to present this.
I think that probably the best thing we can do together is just install it,
Okay.
and we can go through all the features.
Okay.
Uh, this PDF looks like a little long. It's not like that. It's just because I prefer to keep all the different and subsequent versions of the software in just one PDF. Also because the installation is described and didn't change in the very first release of the software.
Yeah.
So it's pretty simple, and following those instructions should be installing the software should be really a piece of cake.
Okay. Gotcha. So, let's see. Let me. So I've got it here that I installed. So I went to the Dropbox and downloaded it and unzipped it to my desktop. So here is what is in the zip file. So I'm assuming we just double click on the WKFlex and it will install.
Well, let me say something.
Okay.
There is not an installation process. So this is, so you do not have to go through the Windows stuff and install it. No. I'm also on top of being a CW guy, I'm also a Linux guy, Unix guy. So I'm used to just a different way to install software. So what you want to do here is just copy those files in a directory of your choice. It can be on your desktop, can be on a C drive, no problems. You just copy everything in your folder, in the folder that you like, and that's it. The only requirement is that the software must have writing permission to that folder, because otherwise the configuration file is not updated, is not written.
Gotcha.
So if you get errors after running the software, is much probably because the folder is not readable.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you can just run it over here.
Yeah, so let me, so it's going to give me more info. I need to click run anyway. And here it is. It is up and running.
Yeah. Okay, so of course you have to set up to create a configuration that matches your local ports, so that the Flex radio and the Wink here will talk to WKFlex. Let me spend some few more words about what happens in the software.
Okay.
Accordingly to Flex Radio, there are two ways to generate CW code. One is the way the Maestro does, which is kind of native way. So it's really about manipulating through of course, through internet, there is nothing physical, but through some command strings. The radio goes in transmission and receives and basically generates the code. And that's what the Maestro does.
Yes.
Other option is Smart SDR exposes a virtual wing ear through SmartCat. So what you can do, and that was my original idea, what you can do is just send ASCII characters to the virtual wing ear generated, exposed by SmartLink, and SmartLink will transmit those characters. That way, you do not have latency. The code that you are transmitting is absolutely perfect because it's generated internally by the radio through the wing ear emulation.
Gotcha.
So what WKFlex does is transforming the characters that you manipulate with your paddle through the wing ear in ASCII characters, and send those ASCII characters to the virtual wing ear generated or exposed by Smart SDR. That's the basic function of WKFlex. It's a kind of hub, a
Yeah.
tunnel between those two applications.
So therefore, that removes the latency issue from the internet, where a DOT can turn into a DIT really easily. But if you're sending ASCII characters, which are
Yes.
basically packets with information in them to say this is an A, this is a B, then that is much more reliable and easier to send, and is a little bit it's less latency dependent.
Yeah. The system, the radio generates the code locally, and I guess that the process is exactly the same. So you don't care about latency.
Yeah.
You are synchronized with the side tone generated locally by your wing ear. You don't care about what happens on the on the radio side, but the code that the radio generates is perfectly generated by the radio itself on the remote location.
Yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Good deal.
Okay, good. So if you click on settings,
Okay.
uh, first thing, go to local wing here, and there you have to configure and link your wing here. You should know what COM port, virtual COM port is the wing here on.
I
I'm
think
assuming that you know that, right?
yeah, I think it's COM 11. Yep.
Okay. And then click on Flex WK.
Okay.
And here you select the port, the virtual port generated by Smart SDR. That in your case is COM8.
Yep. So I have already created, for those people at home, I've already created a WinKey port because I run N1MM here, and it's and I run a program called SideTone that I'm trying to get rid of. But yeah, I've already created this WinKey port. So my Flex WK port is COM8. Okay. And then is that it on this screen, Max?
Yep.
Okay.
And if you want to spend a few words about how to find out the local WinKey port through the device manager.
Yeah, so if you a couple of ways I've done it. So whenever you unplug the WinKeyer and plug it back in, you can come into Device Manager and it will pop up here the Device Manager. Or if you're not savvy with that, there is a program that a third-party program. I think where is it? Where did I download this? It's in the demo tools, and trying to find it on my desktop, and I don't know if I have it. I think I downloaded it. Let's see. Oh, it's called WK Scan, and if I bring up WK Scan, here it is. Let me bring it over into this screen. So this is just a third-party application that scans all your ports to tell you where your WinKeyer is at. So if you hit the scan button here, it's going to go through and scan. Hopefully it doesn't brick my computer here while we're streaming. And it is, so WK USB 10, that is COM8. I know that it's not COM8, so I'm assuming that it's COM 11 here, this WK SMT 31.2.
Yes. COM8, see, is the Smart SDR virtual port that is recognized indeed by this software as a WinKeyer.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. So my COM 11 is where my WinKeyer is plugged into.
Perfect.
Okay.
And so that's the basic configuration. Just to make sure, don't click save yet.
Okay.
Go to N1MM.
Okay.
Right. Okay, this is not enabled. Fine. Go to system. I think we are good here. We can spend some time later on.
Okay.
But I guess we are okay. So click on save.
Okay.
And if everything is okay, just click start. You are in business.
It's that easy? Come on.
Yeah. Okay. So move the speed part on the wing here.
Yep.
See, wing here follows the spot,
Right.
the potentiometer, right? Now, do you have a paddle connected to the wing
I
here?
do. I do.
Okay. Uh, Resides the WKFlex window, please. You don't need that big window. And you can bring the Smart SDR window on.
Okay. So let's we're on 20 meters here. And we're on 14.065. Let's just go kind of off frequency.
Okay.
.4. Okay.
So if you move the wing gear potentiometer, you see that the speed changes, the flex speed changes as well.
Yeah.
Following. Okay.
I see that.
Okay. Now go ahead and make a CQ.
It's just that easy, folks. So you can see what you're sending up here, and
Yeah.
there's a little bit of delay, but not much. Not much.
Well, the delay doesn't affect the way you are transmitting, and you should just ignore it.
Yeah.
There is a delay indeed, and the delay is because you are transmitting with your paddle, and then the wing gear has to wait and translate your paddle, whatever you keyed with your paddle, in an ASCII character. And then that ASCII character will be sent through WKFlex to the Smart SDR. So there is a delay in this kind of process, but the delay doesn't affect the way you are transmitting and the CW that is transmitted from the radio.
Yes. Yes.
So you
gotcha.
just need to be a little bit used to it, but that's it.
Yeah.
And of course, this delay does impact in the audio that you are generating locally.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we can hear your wing gear transmitting.
No, because the audio. So the one thing that I don't like about the Winkeers is the audio is very light.
Okay. Good. If you go with the AF.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have
So
that
I'm
problem.
gonna buy the AF so I can hook it up to my speakers here and I can hear it through my headphones, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Very cool. Yeah. I would pipe the audio through my mixer here so everyone can hear it, but yeah, it just doesn't have an output for a speaker. Oh, people are now tuning up. They know where we're at, so now now they're tuning up.
They want to have a QSO with you.
Yeah, they all want to have a Q. So let's. Mike Walker was in the chat here. He said that he could hear me on CW. He want me to call you back, and yeah, if you want to call me back, that's fine, Mike. I can't. Mike says I can't see to my tune signal. Oh, he's having some issues here, but yeah. I mean, this is great, Max. I mean, this was a very simple install, and let me turn this audio down. A very simple install, and yeah, I think some of the other CW remote keyers, they were very complex and they were kind of hard to install and to get going. This just seems very straightforward.
Yes, it is. And let's talk about some features and what's on the screen, right?
Sure.
So on the bottom left, you have information about the version, the wing gear hardware that you are using, and the radio firmware version.
Yep.
On the right side, when you transmit, you will see that those two pictures will turn red.
Yep.
Try to send something. See, the first one is the wing gear, the local wing gear.
Okay, this was the local link here, and then the second one, the one on the right, is the actual flex transmitting. Oh, you there? You there, Max?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you froze up there for a minute. So the
Okay.
the one on the left is the local wind here, and
Yes.
the one on the right is
Is the flex.
the flex. Gotcha.
And indeed, if you transmit something, you see that there is a little bit of delay. See?
Yep.
Okay. Now, you can change the speed through the local wing gear part, but you can also use that slide, the blue arrow,
Okay.
and change the speed over there.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
And now a great feature is this speed offset. So let me explain what was going on here.
Okay.
Let's say that you are transmitting at high speed, 30, 35 characters per minute.
Okay.
And your call time, like my call time, has a full of bits. That means that the local wing gear will generate the ASCII character, and it will take very little time before the character is sent, and that can create some kind of gap when the radio transmits, like N5 NHJ will be transmitted like N5N, a longer space, HJ.
Okay.
Because there is a delay between timing of generating, understanding and generating the local characters and the time when the radio transmits it.
Okay, gotcha.
So to go around this, you can tweak a speed offset here. What that means is you are transmitting locally at 22 characters per minute, but your radio is transmitting at 20 characters per minute. That will give the radio a little bit of time to regenerate the sequence with the right timing, and you will not get that gap if you are again in the situation where you are transmitting H or 5 or something like that. So you are synchronized with your local speed, which is normally higher.
Yep.
And radio is transmitting with a lower speed just to get rid of this gap between the letters.
Yes.
This is something that each one has to experiment to find the right fit. And it is definitely more sensible, more evident if you are a fast operator.
So is there any correlation, like does the gap need to be bigger the higher you go? So if I decided to do 30 or 35 words a minute, should I have a gap of 4 or 5 versus 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably you want to have a higher offset between the two speeds.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Good to know.
Okay. Now let's go to the next level.
Okay.
So stop the emulation.
Stop. Okay.
And go to settings.
Okay.
Okay, so the first page, system. This is mostly about changing the configuration of your local wing gear. This doesn't affect at all what you are transmitting.
Okay.
This is about getting more, having a better feeling between the paddle and your local wing gear based on those parameters. But
Okay.
whatever you are transmitting is not affected by this.
Okay.
So of course you can change the keying mode, iambic A or B.
Right.
Yeah, okay, and then everyone who has a wing gear probably knows those setups here. So the lead time and the paddle switch point are milliseconds between the dit and that side of the paddle engaging the wing gear.
Yeah.
To understand better, you can read the wing gear manual, and you will get everything about those parameters there.
And it's
Also,
best just to leave those default as is, right?
yes, probably if you feel good with the way the wing gear is responding to your manipulation, you don't need to change those things. Same thing for auto space and CT space, and then paddle swap is reversing dit and dash.
Okay.
WKFlex speed min and speed max. This sets the range of the slider.
Yep.
Okay, and command delay doesn't affect the transmission at all. Is just an added delay, mostly when the WKFlex starts. So the WKFlex sends out command strings to the local wing gear and to the emulator wing gear.
Yep. Okay.
And this delay is a delay between the single commands. Some older version of the wing gear react differently. So if you get some problems, some errors while connecting to the local wing gear, you probably want to change this delay here so that the wing gear has more time to get the commands and respond. But
Gotcha.
again, this is just during the initial handshake between the wing gear and the WKFlex. Doesn't impact at all the transmitting speed or even the latency.
Gotcha. Okay.
The debug flag generates some more verbose messages during the communication phase. You probably don't need that. And the auto start just enables starting the WKFlex. The WKFlex goes in start mode directly without you hitting on start.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now let's configure N1mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so the label says N1mm, but basically this can be done for any logger application that can drive a wing gear. So I'm using DX4Win for daily logging, and so you can just configure the logging application so that the logging application will transmit CW through the WKFlex to the radio along with the paddle.
Yeah.
So to do that, you need to create a virtual COM port.
Okay.
So that the WKFlex can talk with the logger through this virtual COM port. And that can be done with WSPE or COM0COM. There are so many applications to generate a virtual COM port.
I think you had a diagram about this towards the end. Yeah, so here we go.
So again, the WKFlex is working as a concentrator, gets signals and ASCII characters from all those three channels, and routes the right commands and characters to the right channel.
Yeah. So the virtual COM port lies between WKFlex and N1MM right here, correct?
Right.
So basically what it's doing is it's taking WKFlex COM port, which I believe would be port 8, right?
No.
No?
No. You just need to create... WKFlex doesn't generate any virtual port. That's why you need a virtual port to create the tunnel between WKFlex and the logger application.
Okay, gotcha. So I have, I don't know if we want to attempt this on the stream. This might be a little crazy. I wonder if we can do this. What do I have? I've got the COM to COM port. Oh, why not? So let's bring up N1MM. I'm starting N1MM on my other screen, and I'm gonna. Here's the 44 days old. All right, so actually, I was doing a CWT, or actually a K1SUN. So let's say cancel there. And I've got a WinKeyer. So if you go into config and go to the configurer. So if you go over here to WinKey, or no, I'm sorry, hardware.
Yes.
I've got a WinKey. I believe that it is on COM 7. No, it's on COM 9. So here is my WinKeyer on COM 9.
Well, why you're saying the WinKeyer? You just have one WinKeyer, right?
Yes.
Okay, and so your configuration now is WinKeyer on port 11.
Yeah. Sorry, the COM port that I've got associated, is COM 9 here on N1MM. Yes.
Okay, so what you want to do is create a virtual port. COM0 COM is fine. So bring COM0 port, COM0 COM on the screen and create a pair.
Let's see if I can find it here.
Otherwise, you can download VSPE. Is very simple.
Now let me. Where is it? Come on. I'm looking for it on my. It was. Hang on. Let's see. Here it is. I got it. All right. So. Here we go. So this is COM0 COM here.
Okay.
And I think.
Yeah, okay. So you already have a pair.
I do.
Content, right?
Yes.
Okay, and we can use that one if you do not have anything else on those two ports yet or right now.
Okay.
So if those two ports are free, we can use those two ports for testing right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this will work. Yeah.
Okay. So COM9 on N1MM.
Yep.
Okay. Check if COM9 is assigned to a WinKeyer.
It is. Let's see.
Okay.
It is. Yes. Signed to a WinKeyer.
Okay. Close this.
Okay.
Now go to WKFlex.
Okay.
And in N1MM, select COM port 10.
COM 10.
So right now you have N1MM talking, sending WinKeyer commands to port 9, and through the tunnel, those commands, along with ASCII characters, of course, are sent to through port 10 to WKFlex.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Enable N1MM port.
Okay.
That should be it. Let's check. Save.
Okay.
And start.
Uh-oh.
I think you are in business. Try transmitting something from
Well,
N1MM.
I just got an error in N1MM.
Okay.
A runtime error occurred. Is there a... Should I start N1MM after... Maybe I started COM to COM.
Okay, the right sequence is starting the virtual serial port emulators, COM 0, COM, whatever. Start the WKFlex, and then start N1MM.
Okay, so let me...
So right now, if you just restart N1MM, everything should work.
Yeah, so let me start N1MM. Do you really want to exit? Yes. Okay, so I still got WKFlex up and running. I've got COM to COM. So let me restart N1MM here. So it's starting. All right, no error. So if let's see. Let me send a CQ on WKFlex here. Okay, that works. So now let me just send, let me go to run here on N1MM, and let me just send my call sign. Yep, there it goes.
Easy peasy.
It's just that easy, folks. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't expect it to go, but yeah, that's much easier than what I've been doing. This is awesome. All right.
I'm so happy. So we can close the live streaming already. Everything works. So
Everything works. Wow. All right. Yeah. I'm laughing, Max, because usually whenever like you stream something, it never goes as planned, and you have a ton of issues going on.
I've been there.
Yeah. So, all right, very good. Well, anything else, Max, that you want to talk about WKFlex?
No, it is really the way it works good. I think that there are so many happy campers outside here using WKFlex. I'm open to suggestions. So if you guys have ideas to get more functionalities, not really to improve it. I'm not sure if there is anything that can be improved, but add extra functionalities, I will be very happy to think about those extra functions and try to enable them.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to, so the link is in the description below. If you want to download Max's program, if they want to get a hold of you to give suggestions or give feedback, how should they get a hold of you?
Just send an email n5nhj@yahoo.com.
Okay.
Or max.i8nhj@gmail.com. Both emails are public, so very simple to get hold of me.
Very good. Okay, very good. I'm looking here at the chat. Mike Walker from Flex Radio is in there. Hello, Mike. I didn't say hello to you, but Mike says, I want to thank Max for solving this problem. So he says thank you from Flex Radio. Some other people in the chat, the usual suspects here. If you got any questions about WKFlex, please put them in the chat, and we'll try and, we will get to them. Because I think we're probably going to wrap up the stream here quickly, since we got all this stuff working. It's great whenever it just works. So
yeah, I'm sure that you will have a lot of fun running next contest with N1MM and WKFlex because it's so easy.
Yeah.
Basically, you forget that you have something in between, and you at any time you can say hello to someone with your paddle. Everything is so smooth.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna contest tomorrow with it. The K1SUN CW contest is tomorrow at 3 p.m. I'm gonna use this. This is what I'm gonna do it all manually. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna do anything on automatic. I'm gonna do everything with the keyer right here to see how it works.
Perfect.
But yeah, it's great. All right. I think
So
that
no questions.
yeah, no, no questions. You did an excellent job, Max. So nobody has any questions. Yeah,
Good.
nobody has any questions. So, all right, very good. Max, thank you for. I know that we delayed this a couple of times. I had some issues that I needed to take care of, but Max stuck by me and was here. And thank you, Max, for delaying the stream a couple of times and being on tonight. Appreciate it.
No problems. You are very welcome.
All right, that is it. I want to say thank you to Max again and everyone to the chat. 73. Thanks, everyone.
73, and see you on the next pileup.